everybody? Welcome back to another episode of TEW Confrontational. My name is TEW Warkenthien. I'm here with my little brother, Evan Warkenthien. Episode number 5 of TEW Confrontational. And yeah, we just want to let everybody know, join our NCAA tournament bracket. We got a few entries in there right now, but I promise you, we get 40, 50 people. We'll keep increasing the win total, the win prize and everything. So it's at 200 right now. We'll maybe as soon as we get like 40 or 50,
we'll see about that.
50, and then we'll increase it like $50 every time. So once we get 50, we'll increase it $50 to $250. Once we get 60, we'll increase it to 300. So join in. So one person, one entry per person. So we're not going to be going somebody fill out 10 brackets and hopefully one of them wins. It's one bracket per person, and then winner gets a shot at the prize pool. So we'll split it up to first and second, and then we'll see how many people we'll get. If we raise the prize pool up to 300, 350, 400, then we'll obviously include second or third place and everything like that. But we're paying out first and second right now, 150 to first, 50 to second. So I just want to make a big emphasis on that. Everybody join the NCAA tournament. All you got to do is click on the link in the description.
Simple, very simple.
I actually made it on private, so anyone can join. But put your name as your bracket, so we can kind of narrow it down to like whose bracket this is and everything like
just
that.
Just so we can, like, when people are leading, we can kind of
shout them out. Like, hey, so and so is at 325 points. Right behind them is so-and-so at 320. So things like that, so we can kind of call out people, and then obviously pay the winner, because we don't know who Jack 2745.
Tommy boy.
You know what I mean? So you just put your name in there and everything like that. But I made it public, so you don't have to put in a password or anything. So yeah, everyone just hop on the NCAA bracket challenge. Starts in about on the 14th.
14th. So
on the 14th is the first 4 games.
10 days.
But then they name the actual teams for the bracket on the 12th. And so that's when you'll be able to fill out your bracket and everything like that. So I just want to point that out right away. Everybody go join the tournament, man. It's free entry, and whoever wins second place, third place gets paid. So
exactly, and I think that makes it more fun and more enjoyable to watch.
Oh yeah, if your first weekend's over,
just do it. It's
you
fun.
Have 1 or 2 games wrong, you're going to be feeling pretty good going into
exactly. And I think that it just makes it way more fun and more enjoyable. Even if you're not a huge basketball fan, it makes it way more enjoyable, like, to follow along. Kind of like fantasy football I've mentioned before, but It's way more fun to watch when you got something on the line. Even though this is free, you got something on the line.
Right. I mean, there's money to be won. There's pride to be had.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, we'll have a bunch of females in here too, so it's not like just a guy thing. If you're a female, don't know what you're doing, just put a bracket in.
Yeah,
pick your favorite colors, most attractive person on the basketball team, whatever your strategy is.
Just have some fun with it.
Right, just put in a free entry, and
then you
get first, you get paid.
Yeah, you get paid.
So,
paid.
but yeah, so first things first, just want to have everyone join the NCAA bracket. Literally takes 2 minutes to fill out a bracket, not even. So yeah, just get that all set up and ready to go before the tournament starts on the 14th. The first 4 play-in games, what they call them, is on
March 14th.
And then the first round starts on the 16th. So that's or the 17th or something like that. So it's gonna be a fun next couple of weeks here. We actually have a guest coming on next week. Over the weekend when the bracket is announced and everything, we'll record an episode there. Huge college basketball guy, big Jayhawks fan, everything like that. He knows what he's doing. He knows his college basketball and everything. Goes to quite a few Jayhawks games and stuff like that. So we'll have him on next week to kind of go through kind of the bracketology and stuff like that. Have our picks, who's winning, who's losing, things like that. And we'll probably go into a little bit of sports gambling and everything.
Definitely.
Just to see if you guys out there are watching, big on sports gambling, like to put money down on sports, we'll be running through our favorites or who we would pick to win and stuff like that. That way you guys can kind of feed off us what our knowledge is, what you want to compare it to and everything like that. So I'll probably be jumping into that. But yeah, NCAA March Madness right around the corner. Next weekend is when it starts. So
get in the bracket, put your name in.
Yep, exactly. But just wanted to get that out there. What else you got for us today?
We got a lot on
I mean, yeah, so there hasn't been a lot that's gone down since we last recorded an episode or released an episode. So we do have a shit ton of stuff to talk about. I mean, while we're on the topic of NCAA, why don't we just go through some of that stuff? I know.
I kind of, when it becomes like getting closer to March Madness, I do follow along or watch a lot more games than I usually do.
Right.
And just like our special guest coming on next week, I am a Jayhawk fan. Their fans are crazy, and I do like that Brady. That's Grady, I think. Grady Diggs.
Grady Dick. Yeah.
He's a baller, can shoot. So I think that not be a bandwagon, but kind of I am gonna hop on the bandwagon a little bit and join the Jayhawk.
I mean, Jayhawks are looking nice. Can't take credit away from where credit's due. Kansas is sitting. They're sitting at number 3 right now. Unfortunately, they did just lose to Texas, the Longhorns, 75-59.
Yeah, lost by 16. Yeah.
So I mean, it wasn't a great show out. I mean that Grady Dick, the kid you're talking about, he gets like locked because he's like the shooter. He's known as like the 3-point threat and everything. So he only took 5 3-pointers last night. He was 2 for 5. So like, and that was what his field goals were too. So I mean, he's not taking any other shots besides threes. But teams know that, and so they're locking down on the 3-point arc, and you're not getting. He got 5 shots off last night, and how many minutes?
Which is rare.
28 minutes. So
which is quite a bit. 20 out of the 40.
30 out of the 40. He was only getting up 5 shots, and he's known as like one of the top scorers on the Jayhawks. But just going through, Wilson had 23, so he was the leading scorer for the Jayhawks. And then you have Texas. They're starting. Hunter had 20, but then the bench, Rice off the bench with 23, was a huge factor in that game. Those 23 points off the bench really helped Texas kind of just overcome the Jayhawks.
What is Texas? Is Texas 8?
Texas is 9th. 8th, 9th, but they're probably moving up after beating Kansas. Kansas probably got to 4. It's a Big 12 matchup, so I mean, a Big 12 or Big 10. I think it's Big 12.
Yeah.
Either whichever one.
Either
it's
or.
It's a conference matchup.
It's
a huge game. And Texas pulled out the victory. So kudos to Texas. But no, Kansas still has their number 1 spot in the tournament.
What is the saying? Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
Yeah, Rock Chalk Jayhawk. Yeah. So I mean, I know a lot of Kansas fans, and Kansas has always been good. Just saw a stat. They've made it to. They've won or made it to the Big 12 Conference Championship 17 out of the 20 years of Bill Self coaching.
Yeah,
obviously they've made it more prior to that, but
sure.
Just under Bill Self, 17 out of the 20 seasons that Bill Self has coached have made it to the Big 10.
Yeah, it's a great achievement.
Championship. So I mean, the Big 12, whatever it is. Yeah, that is huge. So yeah, shout out Jayhawk country.
Rock Chalk Jayhawk, baby. Let's go.
But also, Alabama took an L this weekend too.
Yep, and I kind of got on
to Texas A&M, I believe.
I don't know. I'm kind of split because I mean I like Alabama too. I do like that Brandon Miller.
Yeah,
he didn't off the court issues, but I mean, when it comes down to straight, in the paint, I think he
right. Yeah,
earned my respect for sure.
Texas A&M beat Alabama, 67-61.
And what is Alabama?
Alabama's number 2. Yep. Yeah. Texas A&M they're ranked 24th. They're 23-8, so not a bad team. Texas A&M always has the Aggies always have a pretty good squad.
Yep.
In basketball.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, Brandon Miller had 19 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 fouls. So it looks like he was in pretty big foul trouble. It looks like the whole starter for the Crimson Tide was in foul trouble.
Which is not a great way to
And then
in a battle, if you're in a battle.
Yeah, and then the Aggies had Wade Taylor scored 28, and then Radford had 21, 7 and 4. So I mean, they had some dudes doing work down in Texas. So yeah, Alabama falls to Texas A&M. Not a huge loss. I mean, it's still a big loss, but Texas A&M is a creditable team.
Yep.
Iowa State beat Baylor. That was a huge another upset. Baylor has been playing really well. kept it competitive with Kansas for the first 3 quarters when they played. But yeah, Baylor's number 7 in front of Kansas 3 in front of Texas.
Yeah, Texas. Yeah.
But Iowa State ends up knocking them off 73-58, and I mean, yeah, not a huge spread out on scoring from Iowa State. It was pretty even. You had 3 guys in double figures, and then for Baylor, you had 2 guys in double figures, and that's it. So, I mean, tough loss there, but yeah. So we got some big teams, some big top 10 teams following this weekend.
So who is your team that you're gonna go for?
I mean, last time
in your bracket, I know you're probably gonna do a few brackets, but
yeah. Last time you asked me, I said Houston.
Houston, yeah.
Houston still looks solid.
There, number 1.
Well, I mean, hey, they're number 1 for a reason. They're fucking good.
Yeah.
So
they've been good for what, the past
2
years?
Last year, last few years they've been scary and entering like in the Sweet 16 type deals and maybe into the Elite 8. Last year, I think they made it to the Elite 8 and then were about to make it to the Final Four, lost to a heartbreaker at the end. But so they're always a name to be reckoned with, at least in the NCAA tournament.
Yep.
Kind of the same with like Seton Hall. Seton Hall's always been like like a 12th seed and always knocked out number 5 or whatever. And then who else have you seen come up that's been like all over the name? Florida Georgia Atlantic or FCU, Florida Coastal Atlantic, whatever.
Yep.
They were a big name a couple years ago.
And then who's the team where they had that the old lady? She was like 91, 92.
Was that Gonzaga?
No, it was they're maroon and yellow.
Iowa State?
No.
Minnesota? No, I do remember hearing
that. It's not a school that you would probably like think of as like even a school.
Chicago Loyola.
Aola, yep.
Chicago
That's correct, yep.
Maybe Tyler Howard used to play at Roosevelt, went to Chicago Loyola and played up there. And then that team that he was on made it to ESPN top 10.
And then like 3 years ago they made it to Elite 8.
Yeah. They were like 2 years ago, I think that was. But yeah, Chicago Loyola.
2 years ago, yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty sweet. But yeah,
it is.
They had that 98 or 102-year-old still cheering them on, like diehard fan. That's pretty sweet.
Gave them some momentum in that stretch where they were gone.
Right.
But kind of switching topics a little bit. Let's get back onto the A-Rod. He's out of the dark.
Yep. So moving on. NFL's been crazy. There's been a lot of...
He's back to came out.
Yep. So going back, Aaron Rodgers did this like darkness retreat where he went to, I don't remember what country did he go to.
It wasn't
It wasn't in the United States. He definitely went off coastal like down yonder and did this darkness retreat.
He's out.
He's finally out. He came out last Sunday. I think.
He's a live star.
He actually did a interview in a podcast on Tuesday.
Yep.
The show usually he does it on Pat McAfee, but he did it on
one of his good buddies. Sharing about that, his experience was pretty neat. And we always ask ourselves like, would I do it? I don't know.
So he was in the darkness, or in this like little hut in the darkness for 4 days. Had food.
Yep.
No outside communications, no light. Just you're sitting there in the darkness. But he probably ate like a king, to be honest. Like
he
probably had some good food. But I'm just saying, like,
a good question is, I kind of want to ask you this. We probably already just like reiterated this, but would you do it? How long could you last? Would you do it? And then how long would you last?
So like, if you had your mindset to it, like, hey, I'm gonna go spend these 4 days in the dark, and you prepared your mind for it for a couple months, I could probably do it.
I don't
know. The thing is, what is it gonna do for me? Like,
I think
you sit by yourself for 4 days in the dark.
Yep, but it's more of like it's a mental reset. To be honest, I mean, I think when I think of it, I think it is a huge mental reset.
Well, I mean, probably, but why can't you just do that in your basement? Just turn off all the lights in your basement, put your phone upstairs.
You're forced, though. Like,
lock yourself in the room and then have somebody bring you food. It's the same thing.
There are so many interruptions when you're,
real life does have a lot of distractions, interruptions.
A lot of distractions, and like your phone's Okay.
The phone's the biggest distraction.
Yes, and you're so you're in your bedroom, you turn the lights off. Your phone's in the kitchen, what do you do? Put it in the backyard? I don't know.
Oh yeah, definitely turn it off and just go put it somewhere else. Like,
but there's still a temptation. I think that
you have that.
This big thing is where like he didn't have it. He was hundreds of miles away.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't understand what that does for a person. Maybe it opens.
I think it does a lot.
I do. Some extra light in your eye, but I don't think it really does anything that's going to make you a better athlete. Doesn't make you a better person. I mean, I don't know what sitting in the darkness does for 4 days by yourself.
I think that
you definitely think.
I think if you guys are obviously watching, I think we should comment and see if Ty maybe should go to the darkness for 4 days and see what.
I'll do some ayahuasca.
Yeah.
That's what I'll do. I'll do some.
No, I think that you guys both are. I was just talking to go in the dark and.
Well, okay, so podcast is obviously called TEW Confrontational. Let's be a little bit confrontational. What's the point of going and sitting in the dark for 4 days? Gonna do for your athletic ability to perform at your highest level and to go win a Super Bowl, because he hasn't done that in 10 years.
Over 10 years, yeah. 2010-11 season.
Yeah. So I mean, he won a couple MVPs. Not
a couple.
I'm giving him his flowers. But I guarantee
nobody is giving him his flowers at all.
They give him 4 MVPs.
There's so much because he deserved that. He won that.
Okay, so think about this. You win 4 MVPs. How many Super Bowl rings do you have?
He's won.
1. How can you be the most valuable player in the whole entire NFL and only have 1 Super Bowl ring? That doesn't make any sense to me.
But like we mentioned before, he's the coach. He does everything. He is. He calls the plays.
No, he doesn't. He complains when Mike McCarthy was there.
And he does.
He wanted Mike McCarthy out of there because he was calling the plays. That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, dude.
He's always complaining. Dude, when Matt LaFleur got there, all he was doing was looking to the sideline and be like, "Why the fuck did you call that?" Like yes, he's a diva.
The coach.
And they're paying him $60 million.
Cross the line, bud. You crossed the line there, buddy.
No, I didn't. He's a diva, dude. All the attention's on him. He leaves. The Packers need to move on from Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, okay.
And
when you watch any sports show, whether it's First Take or whatever, Steven's always dogging on him. Stephen A. Smith, dude. Every show is dogging on him. He gets a lot of attention, but it's a lot of negative attention. I mean, they're always shitting on him.
He puts it on
because he's living a normal lifestyle. Like he was a normal human. Like
past 3 years, he has sat out summer training camp, mini camp, all that stuff, waiting to get paid.
He's also been not waiting to get paid. No,
he's complaining
he's never been about
paid. Yeah. Okay, he won two MVPs back to back. That gives him credit, or yes, he should get paid for winning 2 back-to-back MVPs. Yes, a team needs to pay him to be their quarterback. But he gets paid this year $60 million a year. Most anybody and their quarterback has ever got paid in the entire world.
That is false. It's not 60. He's making paid $60 million this year. It's not per year.
Yes, it is. Well,
actually, he didn't make $60 million this past year.
If they release Aaron Rodgers,
they're losing $20 million in cap. I know that.
They owe him $98 million. Are
you sure about that?
Positive. Yes, if they release Aaron Rodgers,
I know that if they don't sign. I know if they don't sign him, they lose $20 million in cap.
No.
It goes from 40 to 60. Yes, it is.
Yes, I understand that, but they still have to pay out the rest of his contract, which is $98 million.
Okay.
He's
already earned. And he only signed a 2-year contract. He's already earned.
No, they just signed this last year. It was like a 1 year and then a team option or a player option the second year.
Okay.
And so they still owe him like $90 million.
I don't think that's true.
That's why they want to trade him.
You guys fact check because I'm not going to bring up all here. But
okay, but I do think I heard that. But what I'm saying is they want to get rid of him. As soon as he went into the darkness and didn't participate
I think that's absolutely false. I think that's absolutely false. They say
why walk away from the team to do your own thing?
What do you mean? It's not even fucking training. It's not training camp right now.
It doesn't.
They're doing his own thing. Why can't he go in the darkness? Why can't he do his own thing?
You don't think the NFL and every other team gets together 365 days out of the year.
No.
I guarantee.
No.
At least maybe not 365 days, but they don't get 3, 4, 5 weeks off.
I think it's more of a choice. They do get that. It's more of a choice. Like they choose. Like if you're willing to be in the locker room working on shit like that. But there's players that take vacation.
Oh yeah,
and they take time off.
A week and a half at max. Like Pat McAfee, he's a fucking.
He's not
on a podcast.
He's not an athlete anymore though. He's not a pro athlete anymore.
Yes, and he takes a week and a half off. And feels terrible. He's like, this is not what my schedule used to be.
And
like.
then also,
I could never take a week and a half off, so I deserve.
I understand that if you're a young player and you're in a rookie contract or even like 5-6 years, of course you're gonna be there. You want to get better. Aaron Rodgers, this is his 19th season.
Okay.
Like
look at Tom Brady. Where is he at in the off season?
He's retired.
Well, now, but where was he?
This is his second retirement.
Yeah, dude. So it takes 2 or 3 weeks off.
So did he pull a Brett Favre or what?
Who?
Tom Brady.
Oh, for sure.
I think retired.
Oh, he did it. He did it more than once.
Yeah.
He retired like 2 or 3 times.
I think it was actually just.
This is his third retirement, I think. I think the one he just announced like 2 months ago, that was his third retirement.
When was the other one?
I think he retired, came back to the Patriots, retired again,
and
then went to the Buccaneers.
I don't think that's true.
It might not be, but still. Brett Favre, yeah. So
Brett Favre the same thing. Yeah.
But
go to Rod.
Yeah.
Give him his flowers already, Jesus.
Dude, he doesn't deserve it. He won one Super Bowl in 4 MVP seasons, and you only won 1 Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He's choked last 3 seasons in Green Bay.
So where's he gonna? So everybody's like, yeah, you need
49ers.
Where's the LC? 49ers. Come on, dog.
What? He didn't score a touchdown that game.
No, I'm saying like I asked a question. Where's he gonna go? Like,
no.
What's the better place for him to go?
Oh, I was saying like when he was choking at his home field. He choked the last 3 seasons.
Choked.
Detroit this year. That was to go into the playoffs, and he lost that game. And then you go to the 49ers.
We were at the game. I don't think it was a choke. That was
Detroit.
A great game. No, we went
I'm talking about the last season.
Yeah,
the 49ers were the last.
We went to that game.
Yep.
We were at Lambeau.
Yes, I understand that.
And that was not. I don't think it was a choke. I think it was just a straight up great game.
He didn't score a touchdown.
Yep, but I mean it's a good defense on both sides. I mean they had 13 points.
The MVP of the season can't score a touchdown in 1 game.
Okay, that's argumentable. I mean, argumentative
competition. He chokes when he needs to.
I get that, but like
he chokes when he
their
needs
defense.
to.
I mean, it was a great defensive game. They only had, all their points were like their offense they didn't have anything either.
Yeah, but their defense scored.
Yeah, their defense, and they had a blocked punt.
Exactly. So honestly, they outplayed the Packers.
They did,
but the offense was non-existent.
I would say both offenses were non-existent.
We were at the game. The 49ers moved the ball every time. They put up 15 points.
And they had 0 offensive points.
Right. They had field goals and they had that defensive. I don't even think they scored a defensive touchdown. I think that was just return. They got tackled and they kicked a field goal at the end. So a very defensive game. My point is, how can you be the MVP of the league and not score 1 touchdown when it actually matters?
Check the stats,
in the playoffs.
Check the stats, brother.
That was the game to go to. Yeah, regular season stats, he's phenomenal. Playoff stats, check that, and let's see. He's won 1 Super Bowl. He's good. He's one of the top 5 greatest quarterbacks of all time. I'm just saying, he doesn't back it up. I mean, if he has 1 Super Bowl, that's awesome. I mean, he has a ring at least, but he's been named MVP 4 seasons.
I agree with you on that part. Yeah, 1 Super Bowl is not much to speak for. It doesn't really back up. But look at his seasons.
Right, his regular seasons are phenomenal. He has great regular season stats, but when it comes to the playoffs, they're not that tremendous.
Yeah, I've been to 3 playoff games, and they
lost every game.
I wouldn't say, but you used to say they choked. They didn't choke. It was a great game.
Aaron Rodgers just doesn't perform very well, and when the time matters.
Okay.
In the playoffs. I'm just saying. But what I heard today,
I disagree. I think,
okay, but that's fine.
But
yeah, you can. I know you love Aaron Rodgers. Everyone knows you love the Packers. Love Aaron Rodgers. It's just like, okay, he's great. We can all say he's.
Everybody
a great
knows.
quarterback.
If you don't know, he's great. He's a 2-time MVP. That's done back to back. That's happened 3 times in the history of NFL.
like 6 or 7 times. Brett Favre did it.
And who did he play for when he did
the Packers?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's besides the point. That's not even the conversation.
We're talking about great players.
No, we're talking about Aaron Rodgers not winning Super Bowls when he is winning MVPs.
I don't think he's choking though.
It's kind of like the same thing.
I guess he doesn't step up to the plate, but he tries to. I mean, like he even said this in podcasts before.
Right.
He's got that. The reason he's still playing is because of that competitive edge.
No, I understand that, but the thing, going off. Okay, we got the argument over Aaron Rodgers and everything kind of out of the way. A-Rod is a great player, but he's not the greatest of all time. We understand that. But looking at the MVPs versus the ring ratio, you got to look at, and this has been pretty hectic over the past couple weeks because Nikola Jokic for the Denver Nuggets has had 2 back-to-back MVP seasons now, going on to his third back-to-back this season, but he hasn't won a championship.
Yeah, I mean, you have a great point there, but
so it's can you be the MVP of the league, but your team isn't the best? Like, I can understand.
You can.
But your team has to win. Now, obviously, I'm not taking into away Aaron Rodgers.
They do win.
The Green Bay Packers have been the number 1 seed in the NFC North for
this year,
for the past 11 out of 15 years. Or how long has A-Rod been? This is his 15th season as a starter?
17th, so yeah.
As a starter, I'm saying he was behind Brett Favre for 4 or 5 seasons. I'm just trying to figure out.
Probably 15th, yeah.
So just out of the 15th, they've won. They're number 1 in the AFC North. 11 out of the 15, 10 out of the 15, you know what I mean? So regular season, Aaron Rodgers is great. Nikola Jokic does great in the regular season and in the postseason too. But I'm just saying, that's the MVP versus title talk.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I get that. I really do because, they're not winning chips,
Right. They don't have anything.
It's not like
it's not
like an MJ. It's not like a Tom Brady.
LeBron's won MVPs, but he also has 4 rings to go along with it. So it's
but he's better.
He's also got rigged out of a couple MVPs too. But
no, for sure, yeah.
James Harden that 1 year, but
everything I'm going to say is I'm going to stick to my opinion or what I believe, and I think that A-Rod is the GOAT, and I'm very opinionated. I'm going to be biased too because I'm a Packers fan. I'm a LeBron fan.
And we're not taking any credit away from Aaron Rodgers. He's deserved those MVPs as the best stats. Right beside Patrick Mahomes every season. It's every season, bro. But I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If you want to call him the GOAT, he has the MVPs to back it up, but he does not have the rings to back it up.
No, he doesn't.
At all. Tom Brady or fucking Patrick Mahomes is already more decorated than him. And he's been in the league for 5 years. This guy's been in the league for, you said, 17, 18, 19 seasons.
Whatever it is. I think it's going on 19
and he's done this in 5 years.
But I mean, you got to be, what I'm saying is give him the flowers. I mean, 18 seasons, man. Or 19 seasons, whatever it is.
No, he definitely...
It's like LeBron. He's in his 19th season.
But he's out of his prime, for sure.
You think A-Rod's out of his prime?
Mm-hmm.
Or just has a bunch of young talent around him that they're not used to the league?
I don't think so. I think even if they had Devontae Adams on this team that they have now, I still think just the way the season panned out, if you put another top receiver on Green Bay Packers, I think they still would have finished second in the NFC North right behind Minnesota.
Yeah, biased, right?
No,
biased. It is biased.
No, I guarantee you guys weren't mentally there. You can see it in all the games. You just weren't mentally there. Even if you had Devontae Adams there, you still, there was other things going on behind the scenes. You guys probably would have finished 9-6.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean behind the scenes?
Locker room stuff. I just don't think Aaron Rodgers is a great locker room guy. I just don't know. If he's gone, he sits out. This is going on the last 3 years, man. And I don't want to talk about Aaron Rodgers because we're taking up too much of the time. But Aaron Rodgers has been gone from all of the training, all of the hard work in the offseason. He's been gone the last 3 seasons through all of that. Everyone else goes through it. He doesn't have to because he's the GOAT. But then he comes back and doesn't even. I mean, he performs. I mean, you can't take away from this season. He didn't do shit.
Yeah, you're right. It was off season. Yeah, not very good.
I mean, I just wish. Okay, but then you compare him to like the greatest, like the best of the best, and you say Tom Brady. Tom Brady wasn't taking 2-3 weeks vacation. He wasn't sitting up from the team just because he didn't get paid.
Bullshit. That is
Tom
bullshit.
Brady.
That is so.
That's actually not a bullshit. No,
it's not a bullshit. Literally, no. You're right, but he did take time off.
I mean, he's taking vacations. He deserves a vacation, but
he was missing. And I get this was a huge time in his life. Got divorced, but he did take multiple weeks off. Actually,
yeah, personal, like 3 or 4 weeks. Right. This season. This is one season he's done that.
Okay.
One season out of 20. He is there every single day, even in the offseason. Yeah, he'll take 1 or 2.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
I don't. I mean, you can listen to the reporters. You can.
Because everything is just A-Rod's a piece of shit. Like A-Rod.
No one thinks Aaron Rodgers is a piece of shit. I think that
there is
no one
is that
thinks he's
stigma.
a piece of
There
shit.
is that stigma though.
I just think
he's a weirdo.
No, a lot of people think he thinks about himself too much. That's what people think. He's not a no one calls him a weirdo.
No, there's a few people and
no, that's not calling him
that
weird.
I've spoken to.
That's not calling. They just don't understand why he's doing that. That's not calling. Yeah, you think like people will think that. That's not calling them weird. They just don't understand why he is going through this process or going to the dark for 4 days.
And like, why does it matter though?
That doesn't make him weird. They just don't understand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's not calling somebody weird. They just don't understand. But okay, enough with Aaron Rodgers.
A-Rod.
We'll move on.
We'll be back.
But he's gonna be. It's trade the quarterback carousel. We'll touch on that because we've touched on the last couple weeks. Aaron Rodgers, basically, what it comes down to, it's up to him.
So
it's up to him whether he wants to stay.
He's the first domino to fall.
Yeah, it's whether he wants to stay or go somewhere else. It's not anybody else's decision.
And I've heard a lot of rumors that the Raiders backed out. They wanted. I mean, they want longevity. And obviously, Rodgers is not going to be in the league for 10 years.
Right.
So they backed out.
But they're not backing. They didn't back out yet. They said they wanted longevity. Correct. That doesn't mean that they won't start longevity next year. They want Las Vegas.
You think that? You think though? I know, but like every team, like out of the teams he has, so it's the Raiders, Jets, Packers,
San Francisco.
San Francisco's in the mix. I don't know what their situation. And then there's like themselves, they're still trying to figure it out.
There's a lot of teams that want a veteran quarterback right now.
But
San Francisco, Indy,
out of all those
Raiders
teams,
need a veteran one right now.
Out of all those teams, which team is most likely to make it to the Super Bowl or go far?
The Raiders.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
What was the record last year?
9-7, 9-8. Something like that. I mean,
or 8-9, whatever, vice versa.
Right, it was right at 500.
Same as the Packers.
Right, it was right at 500. But they also had Derek Carr. So take Derek Carr.
Don't give Derek Carr shit. Jesus.
I'm not giving Derek. Put Aaron Rodgers in where Derek Carr was.
So like the Packers. So just like the Packers.
Kind of, but
pretty much.
They have a better tight end. They have a better defense. I mean, maybe not a better defense.
No, our defense stepped up this year. Yeah,
Packers defense is pretty stout, but they do have a nice defense with Max Crosby. We touched on him last week.
Yeah.
They do have some dogs on defense, so
they do.
They do have a pretty good defense, and then they're just missing that. Like, could be Aaron Rodgers. I do like Las Vegas to the landing spot of Aaron Rodgers. I do like. Vegas.
I don't at all.
1 year, and.
So
it's just going to be 1 year, and then if he wins, loses. If he loses, he might go to one more team, kind of like Brett Favre did. So, but
we're not running that again.
No, but I do think Aaron Rodgers will play 1 more year, and it's going to be a successful year. And I think it's going to be with the Raiders. I think it's going to be a good run. He's going to make it to the AFC Championship, lose to the Chiefs, and then he's going to be done. But I do think it's Raiders Chiefs next year. If Aaron Rodgers goes to Raiders, it's Raiders Chiefs in the AFC Championship. And then Chiefs beat the Raiders, and then that's done. That's it.
Anywhere about this, man.
Hey, if you want to go after, go. I bet you that'd be fun. That'd be fun to watch. AFC Championship: Patrick Mahomes versus Aaron Rodgers.
You know, wherever you go is whatever he decides to do. I mean, I'm sort of a supporter. I like him as quarterback. I like him as person. So.
Right, but that still would be fun seeing Aaron Rodgers versus Patrick Mahomes in the
Why
AFC
can't you do that? Why
Championship.
can't you do that in the Super Bowl?
Because Aaron Rodgers
Packers
can't make it to
Chiefs.
the Super Bowl.
Packers Chiefs, baby.
Packers can't make it to the Super Bowl. That's the reason why you're never going to see that.
Oh, okay. Vikings fans.
Just saying, man.
Love it. Love it. No, that's communities. Yeah, that's the point,
But yeah.
Hop into some other stuff. Well, if you want to stick on the NFL, we should do that.
I mean, you go to the combines this week, so you can head to the...
yeah, I do want to touch on that. We can...
the combine results, because those are happening this week, NFL Combine.
Shout out to SDSU, South Dakota State University.
A couple players.
Tucker Craft, baby.
Yeah, a couple players in the NFL Combine, so that's pretty fun to see. But yeah, we got some stats here.
You want to touch on that? Stats?
Not yeah, we can touch on stats, but like, who would you say was so the first day was offensive, defensive linemen, so not huge like talent. I mean, obviously a lot of talent there,
yeah.
But I'm saying not necessarily the 40-yard dashes you want to see, or you know what I mean, or the verticals you want to see.
Yeah, so, exactly.
But then second week or the next day was like linebackers, full running back. I think not running backs yet. I think running backs are today. But you got quarterbacks and wide receivers that have gone. So I mean,
DBs,
safeties, stuff like that.
Tight ends are last night or afternoon.
Yeah. So who do you think's performed like out of their minds at the NFL Combine this week?
I'd probably say that he's an edge rusher from Georgia.
Carter or
no, not that one. I can't remember his goddamn name.
Oh yeah, the guy that ran
4.39.
Nolan Smith.
Nolan Smith ran a 4.39. I still don't understand why the NFL draft does not figure this out, or Combine doesn't figure this out and give actual official times.
They gave him a 4.44. Yeah,
and he ran a 4.39.
But when you think about it, so when you see the unofficial time, right? Usually that is faster than the official time. Like the unofficial time, like
no. It's vice versa.
No, usually when you see somebody run like a 4.44, usually the official time is like 4.46 or like 4.49.
No, because what they use is like
they use lasers, right?
So it's slower. So when your hand leaves that pad, so like I don't know, like in the high school, like totally different. But the combine, when your hand leaves the pad, the time starts.
The clock starts.
That's not even your first but when they're actually like moving, like when they're doing their like hand times.
Right.
That's when you start.
Right, but when you cross the line, usually when you cross the finish line, I think it's the pressure on the ground, isn't it, that stops the clock?
Yeah, or it's well, I think it's laser. So I think once you cross that like red line, like that beat of like red and laser,
and 100 times out of 100, your head's before your feet.
But usually,
so that's not going to cause the sensor to go off. It's usually so that's why it's always slower because it's like.
But I think though, like the official time, like your hand, that's official. Your hand leaves the pad, whatever. It's slower than what actually like when you take your first step. That's when should be your hand time starts.
Right when you make your first movement, which would be your hand coming off the pad, that should be the start of the time.
But like when your hand leaves, is like I get that, I understand.
That's when your momentum.
That's official.
That's official. But that's what the unofficial time was, because I think when his hand left, obviously the pressure left off, his time started. Then when he crossed, obviously he crossed the line before any part of his body, or the pressure pad or whatever it is, recognized that he crossed the line. So that's why the unofficial time is always a little bit slower, or a little bit, I guess, I don't know. But yeah, anyway, he ran faster than the unofficial time. He ran a 4.39.
Yeah.
And then the unofficial time, what they showed on the screen, was a 4.44. So way off.
Yeah. So just touch on the combine. How about that same team, Georgia?
Carter.
Jalen
Carter, that guy.
Which is a weird. RIP to
the individual who passed away in that street race. Yeah. But
crazy, he's at the draft. I know you probably know more, a lot more than I do regarding this, but so let's let you touch on this.
Not necessarily more, but what I heard. So yeah, this whole incident was going down. It's funny. This happened probably a year ago or whatever. It's funny now that it's coming out when the draft happens. He's balling out, stuff like that. That's just kind of weird how that all emerges. But what happened was there were him, a teammate, and another person. I think it was another teammate. were drag racing or street racing, just like
They're racing,
who see who can go the fastest down this stretch of road,
and
blah blah blah.
mind this, like they were out partying.
They were drinking. They were intoxicated, yeah. But they just wanted to do a drag race, stuff like that. So they take off. They're going speeds of like 100, 110, 120. One guy loses control and crashes right into like a tree or like a telephone pole or like a, those things on the side of the road. They're just fucking.
Yep.
Like pole. I think it was a wooden post.
Okay, I know what you're talking
about. Like a telephone pole.
It's like a tree. It's like a tree, but
basically. So he crashed
stuff.
into the tree. He was going so fast, it split the car in half. Basically split the car in half.
And I'm not gonna. I mean, obviously, rest in peace to that individual, but also there's the trainer too.
The driver passed. The driver and the trainer passed away. So so I think it was like.
And then Nolan Smith said that, or not Nolan Smith. What was his name?
Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter. Yeah, I want to say Nolan Smith.
Because we were just talking about it.
But no, he said he was a mile away from that when that happened, and so he lied to.
I mean,
and it's a huge situation, so he did lie.
So, okay, the situation happened, right? He's at the NFL Combine. It got leaked, or they started, and I don't know what the whole thing happened. Like, obviously, this was probably investigated a year and a half ago when it happened. But then it got brought back up when Jalen Carter is in the NFL Combine going into the draft, top 5 pick.
Of course that happens,
Right, but the same thing that happened with Tonsil.
Yeah, he's smoking out of the gas mask.
Yeah, same thing. He was drafted, it got leaked right on.
And this was
that's unfortunate. But
it was right before he dropped like 9 picks. He's supposed to be like a 3.
No, he was like number 3 and he dropped second round. Like he dropped.
No, he didn't. No, he went from like 3 to 11.
Oh, did somebody Tennessee pick with Baltimore or somebody anyway. But going back to this Jalen Carter story, he's at the Combine when this gets released, right? And so he has a warrant out for his arrest, everything like that. So he flies back to the hometown. I can't remember. Did this happen in Georgia?
Yeah.
So
he's in Indianapolis. I believe so, because this is right after the one the Natty.
So he's in Indianapolis, flies back to Georgia, or wherever this incident happened, turns himself in, gets booked into jail, pays the bond of like $12,000, gets released.
Back to the Combine we go,
flies
baby.
Back to the Combine, finishes his.
He was probably stretching in the. He was probably stretching
his events. So what does that show the NFL agents and stuff like that? Like, hey, this guy's determined. He's dedicated. He wants to be here.
Yeah,
this is his life.
But he made
one mistake, and I mean, granted, he took the blame for it. He went in, turned himself in. But he didn't want to miss his opportunity the last time to show everyone that he's
a baller.
NFL prospect. He's going to be in the NFL. It just hurts. It's just sad to see that all this young talent. We touched on Brandon Miller a couple days ago. Or a last episode where he has a gun. That gun that is owned under his name gets used to shoot and murder another victim, a female. Like. That's just crazy. And then John Morant. Did you see the stuff that happened with John Morant?
Oh boy, man. So he's been ran through the ringer.
Right. Like last summer, like in July of 2022, couple incidents happened where he threatened like a mall security guard, blah blah blah, and then a couple days later he's back at the mall for his like a shoe release. A 17-year-old kid's talking shit, and then he allegedly beats him.
Allegedly, you gotta use that. You have to use that. Allegedly,
beats the fuck out of him, and then goes in a room, comes back out with like a gun tucked in his waist, and like kind of flashes it or shows it. I don't think he waves it in his face. I think he just shows that he has a gun in his
do that
waist.
Again. Yeah.
I don't think he waved it in his face, but I think he just had it in his waistband and kind of lifted up and showed him, and so that all happened in July. And then over the All-Star break, kind of everything came back out, or he filed a lawsuit, things like that, and then just extended to February. But then last week, a couple days ago,
he was at a club.
He was at a club, and then he did like an Instagram live video or a Snapchat live, and he had a gun, and he flashed in the video and stuff like that. So
he touched on this, and it just. Ironically, it just happened again. We were talking about Brandon Miller and saying you're already in it.
Right.
You're already balling out and shit like that.
What's
and
the
I think
point?
that, like, what is the point of you doing that? Like, what are you proving? Like, what are you proving? You already have your life set.
Like,
I don't know what you're proving.
And then you said this quote earlier, like, so a lot of, I'm not going to say majority, but a lot of the athletes are born into a lifestyle where it's poverty, violence,
it happens quite
crime. Like a lot of the, you hear the stories too, like James Conner, he was born and raised in a car, stuff like that. You hear all those stories, but like, I don't know John Morant's backstory. I feel like he wasn't really gang related.
No. I mean, like, I can't. I mean, I can speak.
Yeah, we don't know it, but
and he was with his family was great. Like,
but like, yeah. So I mean, he grew up. I mean, obviously he's an athlete, balls out, makes the NBA, but then he's trying to act like this gangster lifestyle is like his that he owns, and really, has there been any proof or involvement, or like, is he related to it? Like, there hasn't been anything that comes. But why try to act like a gangster?
I don't know. When you have millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars. I understand. Like the baby, the rapper, made out of Charlotte, blah blah blah, all that stuff, and then he ends up being involved in violence because he was a previous gang member, allegedly a previous gang member. So like, I understand that, but an NBA player. I've seen dudes flash gang signs on the court and stuff like that. I mean, I don't, after scoring a basket or like dunking on something, I don't care
that's
about
more
that.
for fun. Like, this dude's
right, but don't go out in public
and he's flaunting that.
Beating up 17-year-olds. Like, what's this kid's life worth to you? Nothing. You have his life.
I think just
times 10.
It's more like
multiple times over. So
more like stick to your business and mind your business. I guess that's what I would.
Yeah,
But I mean, I'm not in his shoes. Like,
right,
I can't.
Allegedly, this guy was saying some racial slurs and
which is
calling out his
understandable.
family and stuff like that.
But
understandable. But think about the totem pole or the spectrum, the pyramid that you're on. You're at the top, and this kid's at the very bottom, and you just brought yourself all the way to the bottom just to do what? Put this kid in his place, and then what happened? All of this. Now you have to leave the Grizzlies for a couple weeks and like take personal time.
He deleted his Instagram, Twitter.
Like,
so
all of this over a 17-year-old kid. Man.
So I mean, but
he is a kid himself too. He's only like what, 22, 23. So I understand. It's just like ignorance and arrogance, but still, you're making millions of dollars.
Exactly.
Probably
like, you don't want to
make $20,000, $30,000 a year. So like, why?
Who knows? Like,
right. I'm not gonna put that on him, but compared to what level you're at, John Morant, compared to what level this kid's at,
stick to your business and mind your business.
This kid isn't going to be near John Morant's level unless he's in the NBA and making millions.
Exactly.
But he could still be making millions. I can't say
who cares though?
Right. But you're not John Morant. Like,
exactly.
John Morant's a household name.
And like I keep saying, stick to your business and mind your business.
Right.
I know he's probably. I mean, and he's probably used to it, which I don't understand. Like, somebody's saying some negative things towards him.
But it must have been pretty
personal
for him to attack him, or he. Yeah.
Who knows?
All speculation.
I would say hopefully gets the help he needs, but hopefully he just.
He's taking a couple weeks off from the Grizzlies. He's out at least the next 2 games. So we'll see.
And I think he's taking a longer time off too, just to focus on himself and see what's.
Yeah, but can't take too long. They're making the playoffs for sure.
I know. That's what I was thinking.
They're making the playoffs no matter what, but it's just
they need him.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So. I mean, it's just tough. Like, sports is huge. Whatever. Like, everything that goes on within sports.
And it's honestly turning into like an everyday media to where like.
And it's crazy because these people are like just like us.
But it's just like it all happens in the off season too. So it's not like when they're playing, none of this comes out. It all happens in the off season. I guess John Morant, this was a break. This was an all-star break, but yeah, I mean it just all happens in the off season. But I'm gonna take a piss. I'll be right back.
Alrighty. Yeah, I mean.
Hey, but yeah, just want to let everyone know. Check out this new setup we got going on. We got boom arms. We got extendo mics. We're increasing and improving every single day.
Look at that, dude.
Increasing and improving every single day.
Yes, sir.
Just thinking about the playoff picture and where this all lines up. Like, so what do we got for playoff picture? I have it here on my phone.
I mean,
But I know
that Boston's doing well. I know that the Suns are. I think they were 4th.
So we'll start in the West. The West, Milwaukee's leading the West. The Bucks are leading the West, and then you got Celtics at 2, the Sixers at 3. Which Sixers just had a pretty close game with. Who did they just play?
Grizz.
No, the Sixers were down, and they came back and Mavericks.
Yeah.
So
Dallas, maybe.
So Dallas with Kyrie and Luka, both of them actually historic night scored more than 40 points. So Luka scored 42, and I think Kyrie scored like 44, something like that.
90 something.
It was like 80 something, 80 something or 90 something points. So so obviously, so we touched on this a little bit ago. Do you think those two can like work out as a squad?
I don't know
they're
because
putting up 80 points together. Like,
I don't know because
that's a huge.
I feel like Luka's just a different style player. I don't think he's selfish. I don't think that a lot of the stars in the NBA are.
Well, yeah. If you look
unfortunately, are selfish.
If you look at this, so like I was watching an episode of Undisputed with Skip and Shannon. In the past 6 games, so Luka and Kyrie have played 6 games together. In the past 6 games, they're 2-4.
Really?
Not very good.
Yeah, it's not.
The fourth quarter, Kyrie Irving has taken 49 shots.
Jesus.
Luka has taken 16 in the fourth quarter in those 6 games.
So he's giving up his
Well, like that's kind of the reason why they brought Kyrie too. They needed another closer. Or they needed another scorer, obviously, besides Luka.
But he's taking over like the scoring.
Well, I mean, Kyrie has led the fourth quarter in scoring in the past 3 seasons. Like he's always scored in the fourth quarter, but this season is obviously leading in the game. But then when you have Luka and Kyrie on the same team, who do you want taking the last shot? And we talked about this with Austin, and I was like, who do you want taking the last shot? It's like whoever's the hot hand. That makes sense, obviously.
It makes a lot of sense, but I think that.
But you have 2 of the greatest scorers.
So who would you want to take the last shot? Like personally, like if
Luka.
Out of those 2.
Luka. It's his team.
It's his team, and he's made it known that it's his team.
Right. Luka's carried that team for the past 3-4 years, and then they just bring in Kyrie. I understand that Luka wants to share, he doesn't want to take. Anything away from Kyrie, he wants to welcome Kyrie to the team, but you want to win.
But what he's built though is
you don't go you don't pay somebody $40 million to come make your team win, and you go 2-6.
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't make any sense. But I mean, a lot of teams have done that in the past. Mm-hmm. Look at Lakers and look at there's teams that have done that.
Okay, so
not Golden State though. Golden State. And they won 2 in a row. So on the last pod we talked how many championships that KD won with the Warriors. It's 2. And then the third year that's when they lost to the Cavs.
Yep.
But he did win 2 with the Lakers.
No,
he won Finals MVP both of the times they won the Super Bowl.
As you mentioned, the Lakers kind of gets my mind rolling. What about LeBron, dude? He's hurt.
Yeah,
ankle injury.
Yeah, he's taken.
They say 2 or 3 weeks.
So at first, he was going to do a week. He was going to wait a week and then get it re-looked at. But then during that week, like you said, we're going to wait 2 weeks and get it looked at.
Okay, so.
And now he's out for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he might be done for the season. I mean, it obviously depends how the Lakers are shaking up. They're at 11th right now. Just out of playing game.
Yeah, they're not looking hot because.
I mean, 11th. They're 11th right now. They're out of the playing game. But you got to make 10th playing game. It's 9-10, right?
So when I looked at it,
or 8-9 maybe.
When I looked at it, they were 12th. They're 29 and 32. They might be 30 and 32 now because they just won last night. But then you got the Pelicans, and then the Wolves, and then the Jazz, and then the Warriors.
The Wolves are tough. Jazz. I don't know who they.
So Lakers aren't in the playing game yet. So 7, 8, 9, and 10.
But they need to win. That's what I'm
they're
saying.
sitting at 12 right now. So yeah, they do need to win without LeBron. So they still have AD, and then they have Dennis Schroeder, and Jared Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Who do they have? Not Malik Monk. God damn it, can't remember this guy's name. But anyway, they have some pretty good talent on the team, and then when LeBron does come back, that's scary.
Yeah. And they're making a run, but it's unfortunate time for him to get hurt.
But yeah, Bucks are
And they
looking
actually-
nice, dude. They got Giannis, Drew. Like those guys are looking like a team to beat. Celtics looking alright. Celtics are looking alright.
I think
They
so.
lost last night to the Celtics. Played the Nets.
It wasn't last night. It was the last night or two.
It
It was.
last night.
Yeah, the Nets were down by
20.
25 or 28.
20.
Yeah,
The
came back
biggest deficit, the biggest comeback deficit to a victory
Yep, and
in
I know-
the NBA
and
season.
I know a
Not in history, just this season.
Yeah, I know
28
a
points.
huge Celtics fan in Reeve.
Right, but the
He
Nets.
was pretty not upset, but your team was up by 28. That's a game you should win.
Oh yeah, I was upset. I had $50 on a parlay and the Celtics won the games. Beat the Nets.
Speaking of parlays or even
Shit.
betting, let's talk about UFC. Did you watch any of that stuff last night?
I didn't watch it last night. I woke up this morning and turned on my highlights right away.
John Bone Jones.
Saw John Jones after 3 years of not fighting in the UFC comes back for the
Heavyweight,
He gained 40 pounds or
Well,
30,
yeah.
40 pounds like from his last.
which is not, we get it. Yeah.
That's 2 weight classes, isn't it?
Mhm. Yeah.
So it went up 2 weight
Well, I think
classes.
One weight class.
Maybe
Who
one weight
knows?
class.
Yeah.
Fought the champion of the heavyweight, knocked and KO'd him in 2 minutes and 4 seconds.
Yep.
Wasn't even a fight.
And then Shevchenko fought. It's a lady fight.
Yeah, Shevchenko
She lost.
to that Mexican lady, right?
Yeah, she lost. It was the first ever Mexican woman to win a chip, and then Brandon Moreno was the first male, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's unfortunate that Shevchenko lost.
We were watching it, and everybody was just disappointed. Like,
Yeah. I know.
It does suck when like somebody's so good, and then like they have a streak going and they lose.
Right.
And you're like, damn.
But that happens to the best of them.
It does. Yeah, it does.
But I actually know a girl named Shevchenko. So I was bringing up.
You?
Yeah.
Really?
She works at Hicks. Yeah, but
Her name
Shevchenko.
was his last name?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say first names and stuff like that, but I'll say
Don't
Shevchenko.
call her out.
I'm not gonna, but she asked you to prom, you said no.
I don't remember that at all.
Oh. But I'm just saying. But no, yeah. It was unfortunate to see Shevchenko lost.
I think that
lose.
I think there's a lot of John Jones fans. They're happy he's back. And definitely Dana's very happy he's
There's
back.
a lot of John Jones fans just because he's been around the UFC for past
And for him to finish that
15
fight in
years.
2 minutes with a TKO or
submission. It was a submission, but yeah, still.
yeah, it's a
TKO,
TKO. Yeah. Which is crazy. I mean, he's dominant. I don't know if Cyril Gahn had it. I don't know.
I mean,
If I had the, not the fight. Like, thought he had like
when going into the fight, you thought.
I thought he had enough.
For one guy.
I bet on everybody was betting on John Jones. So.
But why would you bet against John Bones Jones?
I don't know. I don't know. 3 years is a long time to be in the sport.
He's a dog.
He is a dog. You proved it last time.
Right. I don't know if you can't see this, but we have some artwork hanging out. First of all, welcome to the new podcast setup. This might be our room here going forward. We got the podcast room.
This might be. No, this is.
Yeah, but we don't got nothing going on. We just got the walls painted. We got some artwork hanging up. We got the lion here right behind me, which you probably can't see in the video, but we'll show it.
I can't see this either.
And then we have Nate Diaz. Why don't you just take that
Nate
down?
Diaz, baby.
Just take that down. Just lift it up and take it down.
Yep.
And then we'll show you guys what it looks like. But we'll get it on the pod. We'll reorganize, but for now, this is where we have it set up at. Because we're going to get a bunch more wall decor and everything, but there we go. Yeah, so
Alright, I think I'm just going to start.
Nate Diaz himself giving the middle finger to everybody in the world because he knows he's the best.
There we go, baby.
Yep. Nate Diaz.
Nate Diaz is a baller. Yeah, I bought that off Amazon.
But yeah, this is the fight where he fought Conor McGregor, isn't it?
I think so. Yep. I think it
They
was.
just both got tore up. Like,
Yep. It was. Yeah.
And he gives a middle finger right to him. He's like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, we're getting it put together, like slowly but surely.
Yeah,
Get
for
it
sure.
put
This
together.
is
So.
like we literally just got done putting the second cone on second coat of paint on, like, what, 3 hours ago, so it's just drying.
Yeah, it's still wet. It's all over my hand. It's still wet.
But no, yeah, so this is going to be our podcast room. So we got the arm bars. Like, look at this thing. Like,
it's pretty cool. I mean, it just feels more comfortable. And
it feels
then,
like a podcast, actually.
Yeah, it does. Instead of doing it, like, in the middle of the living room.
Right. And then we're going to have a couch here, too. We're going to reorganize this here in a little bit. But we just want to get this pod done. But we're going to reorganize it. We're going to have a couch for guests. So we'll have enough up to 3 guests. And we have mics now. We just bought more mics.
Buying new TVs. We'll have some TVs in the background.
Yeah, we'll have a TV for sure. For sure right there. And maybe right here. That way we can, like, put, like, I don't know. We can't. I don't know if YouTube will allow us to, like, record live things going on. Like, if we didn't sound like
we'll have to
right, I don't know if we can do that. But I think we can have, like, logos and stats and stuff and everything. And yeah, so we're just growing every day. We're literally growing and moving every single day.
And shout out to Ty Warkenthien himself. You're the host of the show. He puts in a lot of work, for sure.
Hey, if you ever want to start a
Puts in a lot of work.
If you ever want to start a podcast and think it's like, oh, you just have to record yourself talking on a microphone and stuff like that, that's it. It's not that easy. I'm telling you that. There's a lot of shit that goes on in the background.
I see what goes on behind the scenes, and I'm just here shouting you out because I appreciate that here, bud.
Dude, we went in this together, man. So do it. I'm gonna do anything to make this thing go off. And
I was giving you a fist bump, but I'm really excited. There you go.
I'll do anything to make this podcast successful, and I know you will too. Do the same. So, yeah. So we're moving every day. I mean, we're gonna have this set up to where it's gonna be dedicated. We're gonna have posters, jerseys.
Oh yeah. Don't just wait. Yeah.
We're gonna turn this into something pretty sweet, and it's gonna be fun for people to come and, like, be on the podcast. Because, like, sitting in the living room being on a podcast when we had Austin on, everyone, that was the 3rd episode. It was like kind of awkward the way we were set up. It was like we're just sitting on the. I mean, basically what we're doing now, but it wasn't, like, dedicated to it. It just kind of just felt uncomfortable. And this is a room dedicated to a podcast. We're gonna have, like, sound barriers. We're gonna make it soundproof, like, stuff where we're, like, actually feels like a podcast room. So it's gonna be fun. But yeah, this is kind of what it's gonna look like. I hope you guys like the color that we chose.
Oh yeah,
a little bit darker.
I like it.
A little bit of a tone setter, like a mood setter, is a little darker vibe. Not necessarily that's kind of the vibe we're going for, but just, like, in the background, subtle, like
subtle,
a little bit of yeah, just brings out everything. And I think this is gonna be pretty sweet. I'm excited for us to finish our basement.
And I think that we kind of from now on, I guess, is kind of introducing a new topic besides sports.
Right.
It's going to be a question of the day.
Yeah, so we'll start doing something like towards the end of the podcast. We're like, hey, what do you think?
So I think that we'll do it's called 2 a day. So we do obviously 2 questions of the day.
Mm-hmm.
2 a day.
2 days. Yep. I love 2 days.
2 days. 2 days.
But
no, I hate 2 days. By the way,
I love
football.
2 days.
Oh my god.
It's something to look forward to. As soon as you fall asleep, you know you got to get up in the morning.
Get up at 6 a.m. Yep, and then you take a little break. You get a
2-hour break,
a shitty lunch.
Hey, but you got to
come back.
An hour, 2-hour break, and then
it's a little different when it's 98 degrees out.
True.
But no, we're gonna shoot 2 days. 2 questions that we're gonna. I'll come up with one. He'll come up with one, and
so just a little segment to kind of break up the topics.
And
we'll include everybody. Like, it won't just be a sports topic. You know, like that's what we're trying to get away from, because past 4 or 5 episodes is all been about sports. And I mean, that's the kind of the topic that we lean towards in a way to talk about. But we
gravitate towards that for sure.
Right, but we want to grow and, like, talk about different things. Like, I know we touched on, like, the alien invasion that's going on with, like, the Chinese air balloon stuff being shot down, and then all the aliens coming to attack us. But we're just trying to expand on other things that people might find interesting, and stuff like that. Actually, we missed this last week. I don't know if it was last week, but Roosevelt got named, like, for, like, the academic scholarship.
Yeah.
No, it was like we got, like, a grade A, and, like, and they were recognized on ESPN.
Yeah, it was included for
can't remember what the name of the the title was, but we got like a recognized.
It was
Roosevelt.
It was special ed.
Right. It was like a dynamic or diversity type.
Diversity inclusion.
Right. You might want to just look that up.
I think I saw it on TV, but I was watching it. And, it's diversity inclusion. It deals with like special ed
like
people.
Equality, something to do with
equality. And it's awesome because like they're just like us. They can do whatever they want.
Right. It was so moral of the thing was it was like a kind of a Special Olympics type deal, but it was like a game of like basketball or like events that happened where some I don't know the proper word to put this as far as like politically, but like mentally challenged or disabled people.
Yeah. And I think that they're given like obviously congrats to other people.
Right,
but like I appreciate that because like it gives opportunities to people that don't always get those opportunities, which is awesome. Like,
right, and Roosevelt's always been about that because
that's our alum.
Right, that's right. We both went to Roosevelt, so like so they won this award. They were notarized and not sponsored, but like got recognition from ESPN, like national wide. Like Roosevelt was #1 in the world for like this sports recognition, where they had mentally disabled. Sorry, I don't know the political term. I'm just gonna say mentally disabled or whatever. So mentally disabled kids with like Down syndrome, autism, or any other type of mental disability that got to be involved in like sports or like a weekend full of like events. It wasn't just sports stuff. It wasn't just like activities and stuff or like sports activities. It was like a bunch of different activities, and they got to participate against other people, others, and just be included. And so Roosevelt got recognized for that. So that's pretty
awesome. Yeah, shout out to Rosie High. But like I was saying, I think it's great that they include everyone.
Right.
Because I know probably back in the day they weren't included. Like I shouldn't even say they because they're us. I mean,
right. And Roosevelt's done a pretty good job about including everybody and making everyone equal. Like Scotty Barnes was our. Not Scotty Barnes, Scotty Briggs. Scotty Barnes plays.
I think Scotty Barnes, North Carolina. He played for North Carolina.
Or he plays for China, but Scotty Briggs.
Shout out Scotty Briggs.
I apologize, but Scotty Briggs was our football manager, and I've known Scotty Briggs since
he was ours too.
Since I was like 9 years old. Like he's the same age as me. I think he might be 2 years older, but like he was the same class when I grew up with him and everything like that.
Yeah, awesome.
But like he's been the football manager for the past 7, 10.
I'm not sure if he still is. I haven't been
11 years.
Games in the past few years, but
but I think he is still the football equipment manager, and he's like
great person.
And he loves being on the field too. Like that's where he thrives. And
I wish they did more of that, inclusion type of stuff like that.
I think Roosevelt's probably #1 in the city for doing that.
For sure.
They do a great job about including everybody and making everyone equal, even like the people that don't get that opportunity all the time.
Not like the recognition, not recognition, but like
people that people that just don't get that all the time. And it's unfortunate, but I'm glad that Roosevelt is making it known, not statewide, not countywide, but like worldwide. Like we're on ESPN. Roosevelt was on ESPN.
Exactly.
Like, that's pretty special, man. And that's makes me happy.
Makes me proud.
Yeah, it makes me feel like
I'm proud. Roosevelt alumni.
Yeah, and then usually you're like, oh, high school's high school. Trying to forget about it, even though it is the best time.
No, but I am very proud of what they're doing there.
And they're still doing good in sports. Athletics aren't down in the drain. They're not as good as they want. They just like that.
They've lost a lot of people too.
Just like
Jefferson,
but Jefferson did take over a lot of the talent, and they did do well in football and in gymnastics.
They won the state championship.
And wrestling, I think. But then basketball. They lost like 4 straight to like Harrisburg.
Pierre is good.
Pierre's good. Yeah, I'm not discounting.
I mean, they
lost to like
they
lost to an ESD team, which hardly ever happens.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to be #1. They were ranked #1, and they lost like 4 straight to Washington, Pierre, Harrisburg, and like they lost 4 in a row that were like pretty tough losses.
Oh,
so,
sure, yeah.
but they're still going to state. I think there's still 2 or 3 in the state even after losing those. So
yeah. You want to get to our 2 points? You got a question lined up or what?
Out of the first part of the 2 days.
2 days. First part. 2 days.
Let's see.
You got anything? You want to go first, or do you?
Yeah, if you have a question lined up, I'll answer. I'm still thinking about mine.
I mean, I'm just thinking about it right now.
All right, I'll go.
No, I have a question.
All right, hold up. Say it.
Say it. Say it. Oh, say it. Oh,
you asked me if I had a question. I said no.
I did.
And then I asked you if you had a question. You said no. So
Yeah,
I have a question now.
Okay.
All right.
Let me rip there, Chip.
All right. So majority of these 2 days is probably gonna be top 5. I would say. I mean, keep your top 5. I mean, everyone loves to hear everyone else's top 5. So we're gonna go top 5 country artists. We'll keep it pretty general.
Top 5. That's
top 5 country artists.
Ooh.
If you want to go all time, you can, or if you just want to listen to what you're listening to now, you can.
That's
top
5 country artists
of all time. I mean, or if you're listening to, just say it before you say it. These are the top. These are the 5 that I'm listening to right now.
Tomorrow's here.
So Luke Combs, number 1.
No. I'll let you go. I'm not trying to steal on
That was my question, but then you answer first.
Okay. All right. So what I got here, I'll do probably my Luke Combs is my favorite. I'll do number 2.
All right. So these are the people you're listening to right now.
Yep.
Okay. These are like your top 5 people who, like, if you were to pick top 5 country playlists to play in your artists or your playlist right now, these are the top 5 you would choose, and you would have a playlist for like 2 days.
Yeah. All right. Luke Combs for sure. I respect his craft, and Morgan Whalen, is that?
No, it's Wallen, but
It's
yeah.
gotta be Wallen, yeah.
But yeah.
And then there's one song. I'll pull it up here.
So we got Luke Combs, number 1 for Evan.
And then
number
Hardy.
2
and then
is Morgan Wallen.
Number 3 is Hardy.
Number 3 is Hardy.
Yep, and then 4, that's tough. I mean, there's a bunch of good ones. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta look at my playlist.
Yeah, it is tough to narrow. Anybody that's top 5
Ooh, but I do like this, and this happened a few days ago. You know what this is? Total Wetzel.
Yeah, I've heard of Wetzel. He's a new artist.
Just let that out for a second. Good sound?
Yeah, not bad. Turn it a little bit to the front of the mic. There you go. Put your mouth.
If you ask me to blow, I'ma tell this punk ass to take me to jail. Perfect, yeah, so, you know, the 4 and 5 is hard to pick.
Well, just who you're listening to now. Who would you pick at number 4? Who are your top 5 artists that you listen to right now? It shouldn't be hard.
But it's not country, though. It's not country, though.
No, I just said country. Like top 5 country music artists that you listen to right now.
I don't have top 5, though. Is my thing. I don't have top 5 artists that I listen to.
Say like,
those 3 I listen to. If we're to do artists in general, Mike, hey, I'll include Mike Stud in my country. Mike Stud, shout out Mike.
Yeah, Mike Stud does a lot of everything.
So I'm gonna include him.
You can include him.
But those 3, usually it's mostly just Morgan Wallen and Luke Combs.
Right.
I mean, that's the only thing I listen to, country-wise.
Right. So
but I have been listening to a lot of Johnny Cash.
So if you want to go to my top 5, would probably be.
Is that all you listen to is country?
No, I don't. I hardly ever listen to country.
So you're already got top 5 already? Jeez.
But when I don't hardly. I change it up every single. I listen to multiple genres every single day, so it's not like.
Oh shit! I forgot.
So I listen to a lot of country music.
I forgot somebody. Luke Bryan.
Yeah, Luke.
No, not Luke Bryan. No, Zach Bryan.
Zach Bryan, Back in Orange.
Something in Orange.
Something in Orange.
Yeah.
Orange is the New Black, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, so Zach Bryan's good.
Zach Bryan's good.
My top 5 would probably have to be. I hate to say this, but probably my number 1 would probably be Morgan Wallen. And the only reason why I say that is because he comes out with so many songs that like I'll play over and over and over again that I don't get sick of. And then Luke Combs probably have to be number 2 because
Are you copying me?
no, like I literally can't name it. Like I've been to Luke Combs concert. I've been to a bunch of concerts, and Luke Combs is probably one of my top favorites. Haven't been to Morgan Wallen, so I can't compare him. But so Morgan Wallen's number 1, Luke Combs number 2, number 3 is Jordan Davis.
Davis, I get.
So just coming out with like some pretty good music. You probably already heard "Slow Dance in the Parking Lot," "Buy Dirt," like with like Luke Bryan and stuff like that. There's been a couple. He has a lot of bangers, and then he just came out with a new album called Bluebird Days or something like that. I think it's called Bluebird Days, and that's great music. Next Thing You Know, one of my top favorites. And then there's another one by him on the same album that was like.
Who's your other artist?
Yeah, Next Thing. Okay, so yeah, Jordan Davis number 3. Number 4 is probably Parker McCollum.
And then
came out.
The fifth
Came out last couple of years. Parker McCollum has been balling out. He has Angel Wings, or like, how can you heard an angel? Like great music, great voice. Actually. Looking great face, great body. His attractive foot. He's fucking yoked too.
He is jacked.
He's fucking. He's probably gonna be a top
number.
He's probably gonna be a number 1 country artist in the next 10 years. Parker McCollum, I'm just saying that.
No, dude.
That's a hot take.
Zach Bryan, dude.
Nah,
Are you
take.
kidding
Parker
me?
McCollum's gonna be number 1 10 years down the road. Just saying that. Hey, can I not say my hot take without interruption, man?
Nope.
Just want to say my hot take. Parker McCollum, top country artist in the next 5 years. Next 5 years, he's gonna have a number one. Swear to God, Parker McCollum, top of the line. And then number 5, Laney fucking Wilson, baby. Let's go.
Laney Wilson,
the biggest ass on the country tour right now. I'm just joking, but no, Laney Wilson is probably my 5th, and then obviously you have Carrie Underwood and stuff like that. But top 5 people that I listen to now.
There's so many great
Morgan
artists.
Wallen, Luke Combs, Jordan Davis, Parker McCollum, Laney Wilson. Those are my top 5 that I listen to right now. Like if you pull up my phone and say,
"Let's
hey,
go,"
play the last 5 songs, those would be the last 5 songs.
That's a great list. It's a great list.
Yeah. And Laney Wilson, just wait, she's about to be a big star, and her ass is about to be bigger.
Alright, well, it's PG.
Yeah, keep it PG, but yeah.
No, I agree with your list 100%.
Yeah, music is blown up.
I think there's so many artists.
There are
right now. Like I struggle thinking like 4 or 5.
Yeah,
like
I wouldn't be able to tell you my top 5.
But I did
rap artists.
And I apologize. I didn't name Zach Bryan. I can't believe I didn't put him in my list.
You put him on
4
and 5.
On 4, but he might jump to my number 1 now because I wasn't thinking like. I was like, that's what I listen to most of.
Zach Bryan is not as good as Morgan Wallen or Luke Combs at the moment.
False.
At the moment.
False.
Not false. At the moment.
False.
Look at sales.
False.
All right.
False. But anyways, so that's your question of the day. I'm gonna go to.
No. Let's go over couple more things here as far as sports go. Just want to touch on the.
I can't do a question.
Yeah, you can. Just wait, save it for later. I just want to touch on the Arnold Palmer Invitational that just happened this weekend. What's going on right now as far as scores and everything? We have Kitayama. I'm not sure who that is. Sitting at 9 under. But Scotty Scheffler, Victor Hovland, Jordan Spieth, Keegan Bradley, like Justin Thomas. You got a bunch of people in the top 10, top 15 right now that are balling out. It ends tonight, but right as far as what the last thing I checked, it looks like Kitayama, Scotty Scheffler, Victor Hovland, Hatton, Spieth, English, Bradley, Thomas,
Spieth,
Cootie, and then McIlroy are in the top 10.
McIlroy, he's getting old, isn't he?
No. I mean,
36. But I feel like he fell off because he used to be really good.
I don't think he's fallen off. I mean, he definitely likes his courses. Like that's for sure. He plays really well.
Which
in
is
specific courses.
everyone. I'm going to. I mean, if you go to Keene, I'm kicking your ass on Keene.
Dude.
I'm putting every
Dude,
drive on the.
All right. If you want to go like this, we'll rewatch this. So this is episode number 5 of TEW Confrontational. This kid said he can beat me in golf at Keene. So as soon as the weather warms up and we're gonna hit Keene right away, and we're gonna record the whole round, and we'll see who kicks whose ass. The first golf any of us has ever played all season. We'll go to Keene. We'll record it. We'll have microphones. It's gonna be like kind of like a podcast, more of a vlog, but we'll see who wins on that thing. We'll check the scorecards after.
Yeah, we already know. Yeah, everybody already knows.
Yeah.
But other than that, there's one thing I do want to touch on, but I don't want to. I'm gonna get to my question of the day.
All right.
So it's a huge topic of mine. Best burger in town in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. What is your favorite burger?
So you're going on fast food joints, or you're just going on anything?
So I think that you can name 2. So like you do a restaurant and then a fast food joint.
Okay.
Yeah, one of each. So your 2 best burgers, fast food and then restaurant style.
All right, fast food. I'm going with Five Guys. I don't think there's a better burger than Five Guys beside. Okay, In-N-Out. Maybe you can guarantee. Compare or White Castle.
In-N-Out is not in Sioux Falls. I'm saying
no, there's not In-N-Out. But I'm just saying worldwide, Five Guys is known to be way better.
Five Guys is good.
Is like top notch. You can have Five Guys in Sioux Falls. So Five Guys is probably my favorite fast food. As far as an actual burger, like at a restaurant, like going to get a burger, that's tough because we do have the burger battle here in Sioux Falls, downtown Sioux Falls, where there's 38 different participants putting up a burger. So it's tough to decide because this year Crawford's won.
Yeah, I don't know. I tried one.
Never went to Crawford's to try their burger, so it's hard to tell.
So what's your favorite? I mean, even if you go
out of this year.
Not even out of the burger battle, just like your favorite burger, like when you go out to eat.
I don't know, man. I eat burgers everywhere I go. Like that's the
what's
only
the best
thing I
one
eat
you've had?
when I go out to eat. In Sioux Falls, probably Blarney's has a good burger. Blarney Stones, even though it's an Irish place, has a great burger.
Irish baby. No, yeah, I agree with you 100%. I've had a burger there, and that's.
But soda's I can't remember the name of this place. It's not Crave.
Craven.
Mackenzie River has a good burger.
Yep, they do.
Mackenzie River has a good burger, but I still think the one I made earlier is better.
All right, so name it. What are you gonna go with?
What's the first one I named? Like, is it,
What do you mean?
not Mackenzie River. One I just
Blarney's, bro.
Blarney's, yeah. I think Blarney's is probably the best one that I've had.
I agree 100%. So you're going with, you got your choice. You got 2 top picks in. I'm gonna go a fast food. I agree with that. Five Guys is bomb, but I will go.
Culver's has a nice burger.
I don't know. Five Guys, I don't consider. I mean, it is fast food, but I don't consider it fast food for like my type. I'll go Culver's, the butter burger. That's probably my favorite fast food. Five Guys is phenomenal. But I would probably say Blarney is my favorite burger that I've had at a restaurant. And usually I go to eat like wings and stuff like that, but I think that Blarney has the best burger that I've had eaten at a restaurant, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Blarney's was good, but there's so many. Like there's 38
this year
in the downtown.
And they're different
burger
too.
challenge.
There's a peanut butter and jelly burger.
Like Jail's was good. Jail's burger was good.
Yeah.
I had like 5 or 6 this year, and all of them had Papa Doc's, Swamp Daddy's. Like all of them are good. I just think my favorite one out of this year, and kind of like repeating last couple of years, was probably Blarney's.
Yeah.
They do have good burger, and they have great drinks. They're Irish, so they got like Dennis and like car bombs, bus bombs, whatever you're into. They got it. So then you have some Jameson Dry.
Yeah.
Some Canada Dry.
Never had that.
Some ginger ale.
I don't think I've had Jameson Dry, but.
Well, it's like Canada Dry.
Yeah,
so ginger ale.
I get what you're saying.
And Jameson, not too shabby.
Hell yeah! I think that's shit, dude. We cover a lot of stuff. I still think A-Rod's the GOAT, so.
Yeah.
I'll
okay. So we got.
I'll let you guys decide on that that topic.
Right, but we got NFL Combine, AR-15. We didn't really touch on him when we were going through it, but AR-15 from Florida.
Balled out.
Yeah.
Phenomenal
ran
stats.
Ran a 4.39
Phenomenal
40.
40 broad, vertical, phenomenal.
Right. Anthony Richardson ran a 4.43 40 this year, which is absolutely insane for a quarterback. And
I wouldn't say it's insane, but yeah.
4.3 40? Okay, so we'll go, if you want to look at insane, we'll look at the previous, like, 4 quarterbacks. So we got RG3, which ran like a
4.39.
Yeah, 4.35 or something like
3.5.
that. And
That's insane.
He was the second.
That is insane, though. I mean, that's a huge difference. That's a huge
4.35 versus 4.39.
Yeah, that's 800ths of a second, which is a lot in 40 yards.
No, it's only 0.04.
Yeah, it's 800ths of a second.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but yeah, still like crazy numbers and stuff like that.
But shout out to him. No, I mean, no credit taken away from him. He balled out.
But yeah,
he's been balling out though. Yeah, AR-15.
But yeah, looking at the draft class for this year. I mean, the draft combine has been absolutely ridiculous.
You know, it's just tough. I don't know. It's like I think about these quarterbacks not throwing in the draft. There's I don't know how many actually like big quarterback names. I don't think Bryce Young threw.
I don't even think Bryce Young participated in the.
And so what is? I don't understand that. I don't understand. And then I'll translate that to like a different topic.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of speculation.
Why don't they throw?
There's a lot of speculation why they don't do it is because they don't want to get hurt. Like that's the biggest. Like, hey, I'm not trying to get injured during this time. I'm guaranteed a draft pick. Why would you waste your?
I understand that. Like you're there to throw.
Right. You're there to show your potential and actually, I think there's more participants this year than there has been in the last few years
because they've gotten so much scrutiny.
And I think
people not
NIL. The name, image, and likeness has a lot to do with that too, because then they can go and record that shit and then post it on YouTube for content.
Yeah, and I think that I don't know.
And that's pretty fucking.
I know we're talking about the combine, but like, how about the Senior Bowls and shit like that? Or like bowl games.
Mm-hmm.
People backing out of that. I think that's kind of like it. I mean, I understand like you don't want to get injuries and stuff like that, but like you're backing out on your team. I feel like those are your brothers.
Right, and
I feel like it could be something like a lot of your teammates. This is their last game.
Right, and I understand where you're coming from both sides because it's like, hey, I don't want to get hurt for the NFL because I know I'm going there next level, but also
these are your teammates that you've had for the past 4 or 5 years.
Leaving your family on the field like all by themselves, even though
because like not everyone's gonna make TV.
Right, it's just tough, but yeah, talking about the top prospects in the combine for quarterbacks, at least you got Anthony Richardson, Max Duggan.
How about is it Will Levis?
Will Levis. You got Stetson Bennett.
Stetson baby, 2-time state champ.
Clayton Tune. You got a bunch of kids. You got Malik Cunningham. You got a bunch of dogs here that are running under 4.5. It's nuts for seeing a quarterback run, and this is what Anthony Richardson ran, a 4.43.
Yeah, that's great.
It's absolutely nuts.
I think that,
and like we said, that's third on the all-time list. He's right behind Robert Griffin III.
Not GOATs, yeah.
Yeah, not GOATs, but Robert Griffin III is 2, and then like some no-name is number 1. He ran like a 4.39.
I'd probably never put it down. Who knows?
And then Robert Griffin the third ran a 4.41, and then Anthony Richardson ran a 4.43.
And then just shout out Max Duggan.
And then Max Duggan is actually like 5th on the all-time as far as
quarterbacks
who participated in the NFL Combine. He ran a 4.52, and so Max Duggan didn't think he was that type of guy. He's around a 4.5.
And he's that guy.
That's pretty impressive for a quarterback. He's 5th on the all-time quarterbacks that participated in the Combine.
Yeah. Which is better than that, yeah.
Yeah, so it goes that no name, I think his name is Richardson or whatever his name was, and then it goes Robert Griffin III, then it goes Anthony Richardson, and then it goes Lamar Jackson, and then it goes Max Duggan, and which is
pretty crazy.
Which is nuts, yeah.
Yeah.
So Lamar Jackson ran
take
a 4.46, and then Max Duggan a 4.5. So
hopefully he runs something.
It's just crazy.
Go somewhere that needs his.
Like the speed.
I mean, the speed, dude. That kind of reminds me of like a Josh Allen.
Right, like a Josh Allen.
And he's a big boy too. Like he's not scared of contact.
Yeah, he's not small, and he
awesome.
likes to run the ball, kind of like Josh. He's very similar to Josh Allen.
Yeah.
AR-15 or Anthony Richardson from Florida Gators.
He's big and fast.
Big, fat. He's 6'4", 225 pounds, 245. Let me read that again. Was it 225 or 245?
That'd be 245.
I think it was 245, and he's the same size as Cam Newton.
Yeah.
But he's just as faster than Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Same size Cam Newton and faster than Lamar Jackson.
And there's a difference. I mean, I know 40s are a big thing for. I mean, everybody likes watching 40s, but there's different. I mean, there's game speed and there's just speed.
Right. And
some people are not very fast, like super fast, and like they
honestly think that the game speed is way faster than
like Lamar Jackson.
You have somebody chasing after you, you're running a lot faster than when you're just running just by yourself. So, but just looking at that, Cam Newton, the size of Cam Newton, but the speed of Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
If you're in the arm power of Cam Newton, and actually,
I never saw him throw, so I'm not sure.
He just posted a tweet. He's like, I'm not going to stop throwing it as hard as I can. If these guys can't catch it, then they're not made to be in the NFL. I'm going to keep throwing as hard as I can, and if you don't like it, then get off my team.
That dude not even made the NFL.
Oh, he's made it to the NFL for sure, dude.
Yeah, he's
with a 4.39 or 4.34 40 and like shit like that, you're making the NFL. No doubt about it.
He's making the NFL, but he hasn't made it yet, and that's a fact.
He might be the second, third, fourth quarterback to go off the chart, though. You go off the board.
You never know that could be a third round, that could be a fourth round. You never know how many quarterbacks they need.
No, this class is loaded with quarterbacks.
Yeah, who needs a quarterback right now?
Like C.J. Stroud.
Who needs a quarterback right now?
A lot of teams do.
Do they?
Look at all the teams going after Aaron Rodgers, and they just want a veteran quarterback.
That's not a lot of teams either. It's like 3.
It's like 4 or 5.
Yeah, there's 32 teams in the NFL.
Going after a veteran quarterback, but people that actually need quarterbacks.
Yeah, and those are the teams, like maybe 3 teams will draft quarterback.
No, a lot of teams that like.
Hey, you're not going to draft a quarterback first round and expect them to end the Packers. I mean, I shouldn't say never because the Packers did it. First round, you should draft Jordan Love. But you're not going to draft a quarterback to let him sit behind sit on the bench.
A lot of people, everyone does that. Like, mostly everybody does that. They have their rookie prospect that's supposed to be great, sit behind their veteran quarterback that has been great, won a couple of Super Bowls, sit behind him for 2 or 3 years, and then they become great, just like Tom Brady. Just, hey, yeah. Been a lot of quarterbacks that have done that, but I just think, I don't know.
I guess we'll find out.
I guess we'll find out.
When is the draft? April
23rd.
Yep.
I think 23rd is when the draft is, but not for a couple months, but still, something to look forward to,
in the NFL.
And it's a huge deal too for a lot of teams that are obviously at the bottom of the bucket right now, who are going to be picking number 1, number 2, number 3. First round is huge for the NFL team because that's where obviously a lot of that talent comes out of. But then you also got like the 6th, 7th round where Tom Brady gets drafted, where Brock Purdy gets drafted.
Yeah,
and those guys lead those teams to Super Bowls, to championships.
Mystery relevant.
Right. So I mean, it doesn't necessarily matter where you're drafted, but obviously,
what doesn't
the higher you get drafted,
money,
obviously, the more money you're going to make, the more noise you're going to have around your name, stuff like that when you get drafted early. But NFL. So we touched on the NBA, all the controversy there, teams making it, teams not making it. Lakers better start kicking it into high gear if they want to make the play-in tournament, if they can even make that.
We'll see, dude. Just let it play out.
Yep. I mean, there's still 15 games left, something like that. So I mean, there's still some room to move.
And it's tight. I mean, from 7th place to 12th.
Right.
It's a few games spread.
There's not a lot of great teams in that 7 to 10, and there's also teams that have traded away their best talent, like Brooklyn in the East.
Yeah.
They're sitting at like 6th right now, but they've lost 7 straight, and they're still sitting at 6th.
Yeah.
So like obviously they're gonna move down, but But yeah, so like there's a lot of stuff going on right now with a lot of different sports. You got golf kind of kicking it off, and just touched on the Arnold Palmer Invitational, stuff like that. That will finish up tonight. We got NBA going on. That's 15 games left towards the end. NFL offseason, got to watch a lot of controversy, trades, stuff like that happening. XFL, we didn't really touch on that. I heard Josh Gordon's balling out. So XFL is still going on. Baseball, we still got, there's baseball going on right now. Spring training is right around the corner, stuff like that. Like, there's just a bunch of stuff going on that we want to talk about and let you guys know, but also we obviously can't touch on everything. But we did create a Facebook page for you guys to kind of go and
that like and follow them.
Yeah, just to kind of follow along. We'll be posting random information, like we'll be sharing posts that we see on Facebook on that account. So like, if any NBA injuries happen or NBA updates or NFL updates, we'll be posting like just sharing posts on that thing. Yeah,
why don't you?
Might as well. And then we're posting episodes on there, short clips. So we'll be clipping out like this video. We'll do a short segment of like just us talking about one topic or like just a controversial type of topic, and we'll post that, those short clips, 2 minutes long, so people can still get a feel of the podcast, but don't have to sit down for 2 hours and watch us talk about everything. So we'll be doing clips and stuff like that, just kind of making it more engaging for all of you guys, and then also we want to invite everyone to join the NCAA March Madness bracket.
Of course, yes.
It's a free bracket.
Yeah.
Go fill it out.
Like I said, it's not going to hurt you.
Pick your favorite colors, pick your favorite team, pick your favorite players.
It's fun, and you can win money.
Whatever strategy you want. And then we're going to be giving away our money to you guys. Whoever wins first, second, third.
Just go do it.
And like I said, we're at $200 for 50 participants right now. Because that's kind of the average viewing. We get 50 views, so we'll do 50 brackets. And then once we hit 60, we'll increase about $50. So if we get 60 brackets, we'll go to $250. If we get 70 brackets, we'll go to $300. So like as many brackets,
the more
people fill out brackets,
clock in,
the more money you guys can make. So just at everybody, share with everybody that you know. Even if they don't like the podcast, who cares? We'll give them money if they want to be included in the March Madness bracket. So have everyone fill out. It's your dad, mom, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, sister, brother, dog, it doesn't matter. Just have them fill out the bracket, included in the bracket challenge, and we'll give them honored or first place.
Yes, sir.
150 as of right now.
Yeah.
For the 50 participants, but it could be more. So like everyone just entering their brackets, and we'll have you guys on the pot and we'll give you guys some money. So
sweet.
Why not?
Great deal.
But yeah, that's kind of. I really just want to emphasize on the bracket. Everyone enter into that, and then obviously we touched on everything that we touched on today on the pod.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anything else. You touched on John Jones already, he won the heavyweight championship, gained 40 pounds to win that thing, heavyweight title of the world. Yeah. What else you got?
I don't got much. That's all I got.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you guys tuning in to another episode of TEW Confrontational, episode number 5. If you guys want to introduce any new topics, if you want us to talk about anything, just put it down in the comments. I mean, we're open to anything. We're not just in tune with sports. We're in tune with a lot of different things. We just don't necessarily get to talk about it on the sports podcast. But if you guys want to know anything about us, if you want us to touch on anything else, let us know in the comments. Otherwise, join the NCAA March Madness bracket.
Yep.
What else you got? You got anything else you want to tell people?
Nope. Just keep watching.
Yeah.
Hit that like and subscribe button.
Yep.
I'll keep following.
Yeah. Like, subscribe, follow, everything. This all happens because of you guys. We love doing this for you. We get a lot of feedback from a lot of different people.
We do, yeah.
So we just want to keep improving every single day. We want to keep growing. We want to make this podcast as entertaining as possible for everyone watching and everything like that. So yeah, that's all I have. That's all he has. This is TEW Confrontational, episode number 5 in the books. Peace. See you guys.